Hi, you guys. So today's video, I'm going to tell a story about Gossip Girls. I'm going to give you a bunch of gossip that came out and intrigued me over the last week about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then we're going to do a season 13 episode 10 recap with gossip throughout. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, like and subscribe. You know what I found out, which is so crazy? Okay, so if you guys are Gossip Girl fans, I don't know if you guys know this. I said it on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 2 reunion, but I used to go to Nightingale Bamford in New York City. And it turns out that the writer of Gossip Girls, let me pull her up. Here she is, Cecily Brooke Von Ziegesar. Well, she went to Nightingale Bamford, and when I was in 8th grade, she would have been in 11th grade. So no wonder I'm watching Gossip Girl and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, I think that's Nightingale Bamford they're shooting at in the front. And then I'm like, some of these stories remind me of people I went to school with. And then I'm like, wait a minute, let me look at who wrote this show. And it turns out that it's Cecily, and she went to Nightingale Bamford and was just a few grades up from me. So obviously got a lot of inspiration from our school experience and our sister schools with like Spence and Brearley and Allen Stevenson, St. David's, what else? Choate, Exeter, Riverdale, etc. So I was dying, and she was the Gossip Girl, really, right? Because she's writing the stories. And I'm thinking it's so funny that we went to the same school and I'm a real life Gossip Girl. And she ended up being a fictional writer Gossip Girl. Love it. Okay, we'll move on. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. So I got sent some funny stuff. Okay, I got sent some reviews for Sutton Concept, which is Sutton Stracke's store. And in some of them, they talk about the smell that Sutton mentions, I think, to Avi in one of the earlier episodes. And so I thought I'd start with sharing that with you guys because it's funny. Okay, so here are some of the reviews. Now, keep in mind, sometimes fans take to Housewives business sites and write bad reviews because they don't like them on the show. So you have to take these with a grain of salt, but I thought you would find them kind of funny. Anyway, this one on top says A. Giglio. It says 1 star, and it says, this store is a total scam. It is reselling goods now is considered to be, quote, boutique. Call it what it is, a luxury thrift shop. I guess they're saying like some of the things she's selling are like, I don't know, repurposed couture. It smells like mold, in case you're wondering. And then there's 43 likes to that post. Then there's like a non-Google user, and it says, possibly the saddest store in West Hollywood should be renamed Sutton Has No Concept. Miserable and rude shop assistant. Apparently, our arrival interrupted her Zoom. That was said by a few people, oddly, that the staff wasn't very nice on the sales floor, and there's 29 likes on that one. And then Fandom Menace does 1 star and says, smells like $300,000 a month, and there's 11 likes on that one. Smells like $300,000 a month. That's hilarious. Imagine that's the rent. Did you know $300,000? Wish my house smelled like $300,000 a month. Oh my gosh, what a nice smell. I'd rather that than mold, for sure. All right, let's move on. Anyway, if you want more on these topics, they're in the Patreon in last Tuesday's bonus audio, but I thought I'd share a little of it here. I also speculate on Tuesday's bonus audio what is really going on with Mauricio, with all the videos, with Lele Pons from Dancing with the Stars and Anita and the birthday party they went to. So if you like that topic, go and listen to this week's Tuesday bonus audio. You're going to love the info. So another piece of gossip that's been going around is that more indictments could be coming in the Tom Girardi case, and that the IRS is still investigating Erika Jayne Girardi on tax issues. Okay, so let's pull up the bottom of Tom Girardi's indictment press release. It says IRS criminal investigation and the FBI are investigating this matter. The Office of the United States Trustee is providing assistance. Assistant United States Attorneys Scott Patey and Ali Mogadis of the Major Fraud Section are prosecuting this case. Well, rumor has it that they're still investigating people. And one such person is Keith Griffin, who was a junior, well, he claims he was a junior litigator at Girardi Keys, but a lot of people believe that he actually was one of the people that helped David Lira and Tom Girardi, make phone calls to clients and lie to them about the money they should have been receiving. And so there's a feeling that maybe he's still in trouble. Now, they haven't been able to even get him disbarred yet in California, so I don't know, investigation by the FBI is going to finally get that across the line or not, but supposedly more people are going to be indicted as it relates to the allegations that the Girardi family and the firm were like a big crime syndicate, okay, which you've heard Jay Edelson use that term. Remember, Erika still owes several millions of dollars in state and federal back taxes. So, I don't know, Jay seems to be grabbing his popcorn as we wait and get more information on this investigation, but it is ongoing and continuing. So I wanted to make sure I reminded you guys of that. Poor Denise Richards tried in the scene to bring up some of Erika Jayne Girardi's case to her, to use that against her because she went, she started attacking Denise's kids' OnlyFans and her being on it and all this stuff, and, kind of implying she's not that innocent if she's on OnlyFans, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I thought, let me help Denise Richards with this tea. So for those of you that thought Erika Jayne Girardi was out of the woods, think again. So a quick Real Housewives of Salt Lake City thing I just want to throw in this video. So this was the bombshell I just dropped on my Instagram. I have the rest of it, but it's in the Patreon. And I also have an audio I did about it back in September of 2023 that explains it all. But suffice it to say that this letter was sent to Monica Garcia by Jen Shaw. It was also sent to Koa and some others about operating a troll account called Reality Von Tease. And this letter was issued 20 days before Jen Shaw was arrested. So thought you might find that interesting. More on this in the Patreon. Okay, so I have to leave for the airport to come back from the UK and go to the US again, but I'm going to do the recap now, right before I go. So in episode 10, we have Erika facing off against Denise and Dorit facing off against Garcelle. Denise and Erika's fight are because Denise thinks Erika's evil for calling out her daughter's OnlyFans and sort of implying that maybe she's a little slutty for being on OnlyFans, and also calling out that Denise is on OnlyFans and maybe that makes her slutty too, if I was to cut through the crap. And then Denise thinks Erika Jayne Girardi is evil, and that's sort of where it lies. Denise anchors that in her kids overhearing Erika talk about threesomes, but I don't think it's really about that, nor does Erika. Erika thinks it's about the fact that she made some bad posts about Denise Richards when she said she was quitting the show off what they were implying, which was that Denise Richards was having an affair with Brandi Glanville and cheating on her husband, Aaron. So then that's happening. And then meanwhile, Garcelle thinks Dorit is a racist, mainly from something that Dorit says on the show, which is she says that Garcelle is attacking her or whatever. And but Dorit and Garcelle have had a bit of tension around this topic, which maybe Dorit has got microaggression or whatever it might be. So Garcelle is annoyed with Dorit's ignorance. Dorit seems like she's sorry. We then jump to Erika going over to Dorit's house and having a chat with her. And Erika is, as usual, not apologetic for, calling out Denise Richards' daughter's OnlyFans and the comment. And she calls Denise Richards dumb. And then Garcelle is, with someone at her house, and she speaks to her son, and her son is in the bedroom with his girlfriend. She's a little panicked, but the dad is nearby, so she relaxes. But we know that she's going to be discussing what went down with Dorit. So then Kim and Kyle get together, and we're reminded of the famous scene where Kim says, "You stole my damn house," and Kyle freaks out on her from the early seasons. And then Kyle tells a story about how a hummingbird died, I think, in her kitchen, and she saw it as Big Kathy being upset that she was fighting with her sister Kim. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then Kyle and Kim start talking about Whitney's wedding to Luke. And of course, Kyle's estranged from Kathy Hilton at this point, so Kim is trying to resolve the fight. By the way, here's Kim at Whitney Davis and her husband Luke's wedding. They did a Western-styled wedding in Aspen. It was really beautiful. Here's Whitney with her husband. She's like barefoot. It was really sweet. And as you guys can see, everybody did end up going to the wedding. It was a whole destination wedding. So it would appear that she does want a relationship with Kathy Hilton, at least publicly, even though she says to Kim Richards on tonight's episode that maybe she doesn't. So I'm about to play a sound bite that is very important. It's really demonstrating Big Kathy's impact on Kyle and Kim. Now, Kim goes on after this scene to cry and say, "Do you think that Big Kathy knew I was upset with her, that I was angry with her? Because I love her so much, because I know why she did what she did, because she was trying to support us, right? And take care of us as, a single mom, if you will." And I just wanted to really call attention to this part of episode 10, because this is very real trauma that Kathy, Kim, and Kyle have over Big Kathy. Big Kathy really impacted them both in a positive way and a negative way for their whole life. And I've done some very big deep dives on Big Kathy, and I've studied many books and different people talking about Big Kathy. And so this was really important to call out in my recap tonight for you guys, because this is going to give you a lot of insight into Kathy Hilton, Kyle Richards, and Kim Richards forever.
And miss our fun together as a family.
It's been a long time since we had that.
Very long. And two, this wedding's coming up and then fairs, and I just
what if I don't want that relationship?
I mean, obviously if Kathy did take accountability and reached out to me and was genuine and wanted to repair our relationship, I would 100% be open to that. I'm just not willing to be mistreated.
She can't have a conversation like this. She gets so mean. I really can't handle the meanness, like the way she talks.
You came up and you didn't say, "This guy just hurt my feelings. I'm so embarrassed." You said, "We are out of here." Everybody saw.
I know.
And you looked at me like, "You leaving now." And I was like, hold on a minute, Kathy. First
I'm
of
not
all,
proud of
I'm
that.
an adult. You can't talk to me like that.
I don't like that. It freaked me out when I was little. I don't like that kind of thing.
I don't like it either.
It gives me, I don't know what. I just can't. I can't have someone be that mean and talk like that. If she wants to have a conversation, I could do it, but it's not about a conversation with her.
I'm somebody who doesn't do well with chaos around me. And when I was growing up, it felt like there was chaos and, a lot of big personalities. And, my mom was great, but she had a temper. She had a very fiery Irish Aries temper. I just don't do well with that. That's why in my home, it's very peaceful and calm. You don't hear fighting or yelling in my home.
So then we hear that Crystal is not giving her opinion on the show, and Garcelle's like, "Speak up." I think Garcelle's just trying to help Crystal keep her job, honestly, as a friend. Crystal says she's really distracted when I guess they're filming because she's always comparing herself physically to the other women because they're so thin. And I guess she's, been taking care of herself better in terms of her eating and all that. But she's always struggling with body issues, meaning she looks at herself and doesn't feel good about herself, which is a shame. We then hear her talk about her brother and how their relationship shifted from him being her big brother to her being like his mom, and maybe that dynamic hasn't been great in their relationship. So Alessandra, Sutton's date advisor, sets her up with another man named Steve, and we see Sutton go on this date, and the date actually goes pretty well. Steve is really good looking. She comments on his jacket and gives him some compliments, which makes him feel more confident because Sutton wasn't really good at dating, and I guess Alessandra's been giving her tips, and she's implementing them. They have a lot in common. They like true crime podcasts. And Sutton, do you listen to my true crime parts of my podcast, I wonder? And she comments on his nice blazer and his silvery hair, and that's how Sutton gets his number, and it looks like there's going to be a second date. Then Dorit and Garcelle get together for lunch. It is extremely awkward. They're going to be talking about Dorit using the word attack in terms of Garcelle. So she says, Garcelle, you're attacking me. This triggers Garcelle. We don't really understand why, but it does. And I say that because Garcelle does say that there's something deeper to it, not just, microaggression. So essentially, we don't really get to the bottom of that. But then Dorit says, listen, I'm from a marginalized group, and so are you. We should have more common ground than differences because Dorit is Jewish. And so that's how that goes. They don't really get to a better place. So then Garcelle drops the Karen bomb on Dorit. This is what Karen means, if you guys wondered. Karen's a term used as slang typically for a middle-class white woman who's perceived as entitled or demanding beyond the scope of what is normal. The term is often portrayed in memes depicting middle-class white women who, quote, use their white and class privilege to demand their own way. So there you go. Let me know in the comments if you think Garcelle is right or if she's being maybe overly sensitive. Curious to your take on that. So at the end, Dorit says, I just need to be more aware of what I'm saying and to who, and I have to be conscious. I can't just talk. And that's that. And that's her takeaway. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, oh my goodness, I gotta go, you guys. I wish I had more time. Comment below. And I'll be back on my regular YouTube schedule, which will be more frequent. I have so many things I want to tell you guys. But remember, if I don't say it out here, it's always in the Patreon. I drop a bonus audio every Tuesday, a podcast every Sunday. I do posts in between, and, I share gossip that I think you guys would like as I find it, and or you share with me and you want to say, oh my God, share this with everybody. It's a lot of fun. It's only $6 a month. Anyway, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button, and I will talk to you soon.